Vegas Venturer here. How's it going today, party people? Today I decided that I'm gonna do a little short video here. Probably won't be very long since I was over here. Had to come over here and pick up my hoopty truck. And decided to do a video on Chinatown. This is a little known aspect of Vegas. A lot of people aren't aware of. I'll tell them about it and they're like, you have a Chinatown? It's like, oh yeah, most definitely. We have a vibrant little Chinatown. It's not big, but it's pretty live and popping, I think, especially with the thing I like the most about Chinatown is the food. There's some great food here. And over the last couple of years, I've really gotten into Asian food more than ever. I grew up with a lot of Koreans. Love Korean food. There's a lot of Korean barbecue over here. So, and that brings me to the next point real quick. Even though it's called Chinatown, it really should be like Asia Town, because it's really kind of all things encompassing Asia. Not so much Chinese. I would say more everything else than just Chinese. But there is a little Koreatown as well, and I'll go to that end too. It's really like a shopping plaza though. It's kind of an extension of Chinatown. All right. Sorry about that, ran out of space. So I'm going to go down what is the heart of Chinatown. Now I can't really tell you the boundaries of Chinatown. Pretty much, I would say for the most part, Chinatown is this one street. There is more of Chinatown, however, pretty much several streets in either direction. There's a lot of Asian businesses. I don't know what language you'll see a lot of signs in. I'm guessing Chinese, I don't know. So you do see a lot of Asian culture all along, paralleling this street. I would say if there was anywhere else, I would say you probably can go as far as, what's the next street? Sahara. Almost as far as Sahara, probably at least halfway between, and that's to the north. And then I'm facing west right now. And then to the south, probably to Tropicana, but again, probably about halfway. It's kind of scattered. Like, this is the heart of Chinatown right here. This is kind of the main street, the main shopping center, one of the two, which is kind of weird to say, but this is kind of the heart of Chinatown right here. And then there's one other shopping center, the next one coming up, that has a lot of Asian businesses, but this whole entire stretch does. It's just, I would say this has been the permanent fixture since I've been here of Chinatown. It's these two shopping centers, and then a lot of other stuff is built around it over time. It's becoming more and more popular. It's also becoming upgraded. Some of the or renovated, or whatever you want to say. Turn this back now. That's the other shopping center actually over here. I know the pillars in the way. But yeah, there's some new condos I just pulled out of the parking lot of. Very nice. I'm seeing a lot of growth through here, just like the rest of the town, so, which is awesome. I think this is a great addition to the town. It just gives it a little bit of flavor. You know, it's a great thing. It's a big melting pot here in Vegas. Vegas is kind of like a mini LA, so gotta love it. This is a buffet right here, the Syrup Barbecue Buffet. I've only been there once. It used to be about $25. I don't know if that's come down at all. It was kind of on the higher end, believe it or not. But now there's so many Korean barbecues in here. I would like to know if they went down, because they were about $10 over everyone else before. It's very congested over here often. Some more, I mean, it's nothing but Asian businesses on both sides. Don't know if you can really see that. For me, I've mostly eaten Korean barbecue over here, not a lot of the other restaurants. But I did go to this place that we're about to approach called the Noodle Man the other day. And it was pretty good. Pretty good. Big bowl of noodles. You can get various types of noodles. Like you can get kind of their version of pho. It's not really one nationality specific. It seems like to be kind of a hodgepodge of different Asian foods. And then right next to it, well, let me see here until I get up there. So there's the Noodle Man over here building. And this, I went to this other place right here called the New Asian Barbecue. And I tried to go there first. And the reviews are pretty high. And then I walked in, and it was nothing but, it was 100% Asian in there. I didn't see anyone of any other nationality type. And sorry, this person's sticking their nose out the way. But my point about that is that it must be good. Yeah, that's my theory. If you go to a restaurant that's cultural and there's nothing but its people in there, probably a good chance they're not going to accept any nonsense from the food. So it must be pretty good, because it was full, 100% Asian in there, and I'm definitely going to go back. There was a waiting line. It looked like it was about 30 minutes long. There were a lot of people waiting. They had roasted ducks hanging up in the window. Some of the reviews said it was the best roasted duck they've ever had, which I wouldn't know. Really not a roasted duck person. So we kind of already went through the bulk of Chinatown. Sorry, I gotta let that person in. I mean, there's still some Asian businesses. There's still more. There still is more, but that was like the concentration of it all. But there's still more until we get up here to Koreatown. I don't know what's up with these people today. Got their nose stuck out in the streets. People can't drive here. As you'll probably hear me say over and over again, there's some new Asian restaurants here. I've been wanting to try that one right there, this Black Angus Steakhouse that's like Asian. So yeah, I'd say kind of ended back there. There's a lot more Asian restaurants and businesses through here. So, but as you'll hear me say time and time again, Vegas drivers are horrible. Not as bad as South Florida. That's one thing. Woo, I thought this was the worst place ever until I spent the last winter in this part of this winter in South Florida. Man, people are terrible drivers. Terrible drivers in South Florida. Never seen anything like it. Scooters. Scooters are big here. I never lived anywhere before where scooters were that big. A lot of scooters here. I guess it has to do with good weather. A lot of scooters in Florida as well, particularly in Miami. Not so much Fort Myers. Cheap transportation, good weather. See, he paid it forward. I let him in a moment ago, now he let someone else in. See, that's called courtesy. Something we lack tremendously here in the United States. At least on the roads. Actually, I would say in a lot of areas, particularly the roads, though. Not a lot of courteous people. It would have been nice to use the signal, but hey, small thing. So I would say that it definitely ends, Chinatown definitely ends by the time we get up here to Rainbow. And as you're starting to see here, some less, the Shaolin Kung Fu. There are some more Asian businesses here still, actually. I keep trying to say it's almost over, but it's not. Even Asian attorney offices. Taekwondo, which is Korean. Realtors. called the Koreatown Plaza. So there's really no true Koreatown. It's just this plaza. They decided to name it that. I come to this supermarket every now and then, probably a couple times a year. The Greenland Supermarket. There's some fast food places inside as well. I guess I'll just drive up there. But what is cool is it's really like it's like a Korean grocery store. And what I love is they sell fresh bulgogi, different types of kimchis, cucumber kimchi and regular kimchi. This Lee's Korean Barbecue I've always wanted to go to. I'm pretty sure it's part of Lee's Liquor, which is a huge liquor outlet here. But based on the signage, I'm guessing it's the same owner. Which, yeah, it's Korean barbecue. So, but yeah, I can go in that grocery store and I can get all my. I'm very fond again of Korean food. Haven't been an army brat. I was raised around a lot of other fellow military people, and a lot of them were married to Korean women for the most part. And I had a lot of Korean and half Korean friends, biracial friends. And so Korean moms are kind of like my second moms, because when I went to their house, ooh, I knew it was about to be a good time, because Korean moms are very hospitable. They're about as hospitable as Southerners. And one thing they're gonna make sure is that you're getting fed. You're not leaving that house without getting fed. So I made excuses as much as possible to go to their homes. Because I knew I was about to get a big fat plate of bulgogi, some kimchi, which a lot of people don't like, but I love kimchi. And I don't know, maybe some kimbap and some yakimandu, which are like big old egg rolls. Yeah, man, my mouth's watering right now. I'm getting kind of hungry. So, I'm gonna head back down here to that plaza actually that I was showing you, because I'm gonna go in there to a Chinese bakery that I sometimes frequent. I haven't been to this one in quite a while. I'm gonna say almost 2 years. But if I get lucky, which I'm probably not because it's 2:30, they sometimes will have these hot buns in there. You usually got to get there like around noon. So, but who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky today. Fuku burger. I don't know what that is. Probably something delish. So it's basically, it's what, 2:30 on. It's 2:30 on a Wednesday. No, Thursday. Sorry, lost days. On a Thursday, and you can see how busy it is. Vegas traffic is a beast. It's a beast. And even though I think we have an overall pretty good highway system and everything, it's just we have a lot of population that's come to town. Well, it's been a growing town for a long time, but during the recession it kind of died off. Traffic wasn't that bad for a couple of years, and then it got horrible again. Everyone's coming back, which is good for growth, good for the economy, not so good for the streets, not so good for the water problem we have. It's going to continue to be the water problem, which is the only thing that really limits Vegas growth. Vegas has the potential, I think, to soar to being one of the larger cities in America, really, just because it has so much to offer. Great weather, endless entertainment opportunities, close to California without paying the California price. Another person in the nose sticking out. Relatively affordable housing, even though it's getting pretty expensive now. But I guess compared to places like California, which they're the ones helping drive up the cost here. A lot of them move from California because it's too expensive. They don't want to pay that anymore, but they still want to be close to home. And we're only a couple hours away. So, yeah, the town is booming again. All the sports teams, I think, has been between the economy just booming, but people having expendable income, but sports teams seem to be what really kicked it off. I don't know, some people would say the marijuana boom too. That kind of happened in Colorado, where I'm from originally. So I think there was kind of a trifecta. More than that, but like the economy getting good. California's still fleeing California. Population's growing in general. Very pleasing city to come to. Lots of appeal. So, but our long-term problem is water. All of our water is based off of one source, the Colorado, because we drained all the aquifers here in town. Those have been drained since I think the 70s. So, and the Colorado is just dwindling, and there's really no long-term plan as far as I know of. They were talking about piping water from northern Nevada, but those people up there, they weren't too thrilled about that. I think that's still a fight. And I don't know, water's a big concern. And we actually make good use of our water here through the Nevada Southern Water Authority, but it doesn't matter when you have something crazy like, I don't know, I think it's something like 70,000 people a year moving in here. I might be off on those numbers. If I am, I apologize, but yeah, there's a lot of people been moving in here the last couple of years, and it was like this before the Great Recession too. See, I went basically 6-7 blocks in 5 minutes. And this street's kind of built poor. That's one good thing about Vegas also, is that it seems that at some point, I'm gonna guess around the 80s, that city planners started realizing how fast this town was growing, so they actually built the roads accordingly. Where a lot of towns can't, a lot of big cities can't do that, because by the time they realize it, everything's built around, and so now they can't widen the roads. Whereas here, they built the roads to be wide already. And you'll see that if you go particularly far west, you'll see a lot of those newer developments where some of the roads are just 2 lanes right now, but they look like they're made for 6-7 lanes. And that's because they are. They just haven't widened them yet. They wait until the population grows and then they widen them to more lanes. Sushi, I think that's newer. Korean steakhouse over here. I think it says, is it ounce? 8 ounce, I don't know what it says. Yeah, I'm gonna be coming back here and eating more often, because I see a lot of restaurants that look like they're good. And the great thing about over here is, there's one thing about being on the Strip. The Strip is a racket. I mean, it's fun, but it's a racket. They try to, now they went to charging for parking. They weren't charging locals, now they're charging locals. I just paid the other day for like 28 hours of parking, $30 down there. Drinks. If you get a drink at $12 on the Strip, oh, you're just doing the dance. You're happy. I mean, drinks range between 12 and about 18 bucks. and usually watered down crappy drinks. So the Strip is a racket, and same thing with food, especially if you find like a chain. In a chain, you're gonna find like an Outback, for example. Remember one time we went to an Outback on the Strip versus off? I think it was like $80 for me and my ex-wife. And went to another one a month later, it's like 40 bucks. So I don't know, it may be very well worth, like this is an example. The other day I was hanging out with a friend down at the Park Hotel. It was late, I was hungry, and I was thinking about coming over here to Chinatown to a Korean barbecue place that I knew was about 16 bucks. And I was at the park and I went to their little cafe, and I can't remember what it was they were serving. It didn't have a lot of options, but it was one of those things where you choose this and your protein, you know, you choose the main entree and then the protein, you know, the type of meat and yada yada. And after I added it all up, it was like, it was gonna end up being with the drink and the sides and everything like $35 for like a little, you know, like it was, I can't remember what it was. It was something not significant of a meal. That probably would have been $10 to $15 anywhere else. And I started factoring in the cost of the Uber drive, which is only like $8 from where I was at or whatever. I was like I can pretty much go over there for, and still, which I really wanted to have. I really wanted Korean food at that moment. I said, forget it. I just got in the cab and I came over here. It was $20. It was a different place. The place I wanted to go to was closed. It was $20 for all you could eat Korean barbecue. $8 Uber ride. Now I had to pay to get back. Well, I had to actually go home, so it didn't matter much. But nevertheless, it was about the same price as if I would have stayed right there on the Strip for like a cruddier meal. So something to keep in mind, if you're ever on the Strip and you want to get some cheaper food, I mean, you gotta figure out transportation, and that might make it not cost effective any longer. But if you just want to change of pace, come over here to Chinatown. There's lots of good food over here, like probably some of the best in this town, really. So I'm about to go in here to the bakery. I'll let you walk with me, and then see if, I don't want to freak people out with the camera. I don't know if they'll be freaked out. Walk through here, you see all the restaurants. The bakery. Look at all that yumminess. They got steamed buns, right? Oh yes, they have them. Excuse me. More over here. A whole bunch of steamed buns today. These chicken pot pies are delicious. Look how flaky they are. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, we're inside the same place the bakery was. It's just some indoor shops here. I've never really paid much attention to them other than the bakery. It's like there's a restaurant over here. Don't know what type of food it is. Yummy box. It's probably Japanese. I'm gonna guess it's bento boxes. It's boba. Bunch of boba. Boba craze. here a little bit. Show you some of the businesses. Noodle pots. Fast food noodle place, bunch of little small joints in here. It's like Korean barbecue again. There's a lot of Korean barbecue here. A lot of Korean barbecue in this town, and it's really exploded. I'd say in the last 5 years. Like, look at this menu. Korean barbecue. Looks so good. $22. We have different options, like tier levels of food you can get. There's some cheaper than that though. That's still pretty decent. Gives you a lot of the staples. I like the tofu hut. It's like 17 bucks. They have all the main Korean foods. Went to another one the other day. I can't remember the name. It was a little fancier, but this has become really huge. I think when I first came, I can only remember about 3 of them down in here. Now there's probably about, I'm gonna guess like 10 to 15 Korean barbecue places just here in Chinatown alone. So I'm gonna call this the end. Actually, there is a, before I do that, I'm gonna go to this market. This market's pretty cool. They got a lot of fresh fish. They're not even gutted. A couple of great fresh fish places here in town. This is one of them. The other one's called Seafood City over on Maryland Parkway. This one's not that huge, but there's a lot of fresh fish. Red snapper. Look at the catfish, still alive. Now that's fresh. Big mouth bass. Just catch those everywhere in Florida. Well, that's pretty much most of Chinatown, folks. All right, people. Well, I'm gonna call that the end here. And next time you're in Vegas, if you hadn't been to Chinatown before, I highly recommend it. Come and spend like a half a day down here. Walk around, look at the shops, and do a little research on some of the food. If you've never had Korean food before, I'm a huge fan of it. Actually, I'm a fan of all Asian food, really. I'm expanding my taste more and more when it comes to Korean. I mean, it comes to Asian. Started getting into Vietnamese food the last couple of years. A lot of pho. Of course, Chinese. Who doesn't like Chinese? Japanese. Love Japanese. When I moved here, got into sushi. Never ate sushi before, so yeah, just lots of great food. But if you hadn't had Korean barbecue specifically, try one of those while you're here. Maybe pick something else. That's it, folks. I'll get more videos out. Do me a favor, and if you like the content, please like the video and subscribe. Be one of my first subscribers. I'm just starting to build up videos, and so this is going to take me a while to really get this channel off the ground, but I can't do it without people like you. So please subscribe. It means a lot to me, especially if you like the videos. Have a good day. Peace.